a fuck. Fucking dyke. You look like a dyke. Bitch, I got a phone too. White people ain't the only one got a phone. White people ain't the only one got a phone. And I see you got a ring on your finger, and you look like a dyke. What? 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 Crazy bitch. Stop smoking the pipe. No,
His poor wife looks so ashamed.
Fuck you and your mom.
A few moments later.
Are you okay?
No!
Are you hurt?
Yes!
Physically?
I give up! You're a fucking die. Hey, God don't like ugly. You're an ugly motherfucker.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 12, it reads, "And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold." All right, and that's the vibration that's going through, all right, this earth right now, especially over here in America, which is Mystery Babylon, spiritual Sodom and Egypt, all right, where our Lord, Yahweh Shai, was crossed out, red Jesus was put up. All right, it's a cold vibration going through this earth, all right, and it's only going to get colder as we get closer to, you know what I'm saying, Yahweh Shai's grand re-entrance into this earth. All right, so before I continue, I'd like to start out by giving all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh, and double honors to the apostles, the elder bishops, and the elders of the great millstone. Peace and salutations to the Lord's elect that be in the house of David. All right, again, today is January the 23rd, year 2026. All right, the year of the apostate. All right, the year of the agent, the year of the sellout. All right, the year of Jacob's trouble. All right, and Jacob represents you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans through the seed of our fathers. We're the Israelites. All right, again, we're captives over here in this land. You know, that land being America, and as well as other places we're at, because we're scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, but this is not our world. This is not our rest. All right, and as we can see, you know what I'm saying, the Lord is coming to uproot the rulership, the ruling class nation out of this that's ruling right now out of this earth, and that's Esau, Edom, the so-called self-proclaimed white nation, which they're not white, they're red, and according to the Bible, they're the Edomites. You know what I'm saying? Our number one enemy, number one adversary. So I showed you a couple of clips, you know what I'm saying, dealing with just that, you know, this road raging thing that's you know, it goes down every day in Babylon. All right, you seen the first clip, you had the older gentleman. All right, he looked like an Israelite. You know what I'm saying? He's going down the street, he sees, all right, the Edomite woman, supposedly. All right, and she's doing what she's doing, being an antagonist. All right, and he matches her energy ultimately. All right, and that's what we're coming into a time like never was since it was a nation. All right, Jacob and Esau are gonna fight again, just the same way they fought in the womb. All right, and it's already getting stirred up to that level. All right, the Israelites or tired of you Edomites. You know what I'm saying? You Edomites are tired of the Israelites, so it's gonna coincide with a clash. You know, so you saw that. You know, he told her at the end. You know, you heard what he told her. All right, then the clip to follow. All right, you had an Edomite riding down the street in one of them white boy trucks. All right, that's what I call them, them white boy trucks. All right, and you know what I'm saying? Jake just so happened to be videoing. All right, Esau goes to flip Jake off out the window through his pride and arrogancy. All right, and what happens moments later? All right, that fool crashed into a parked car. You know what I'm saying? That's some shit right there. And that's just going to show that Esau's kingdom is going out fast and violent. You know what I'm saying? That's a signet to how this man is falling from heaven. As the scriptures say, all right, he was up one minute and he was down the next. You know what I'm saying? He felt it, you know what I'm saying? He's ready to crash out when it was over. All right, Esau ready to lose it out here. And that's the spirit that the Lord wants in this earth, all right? A crash out spirit. You know what I mean? So let me read this right quick in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, starting at verse 1. Excuse me. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1. It says, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. All right. And Esau, you're being plucked up. All right, and all you other nations, all right, that live deliciously under Esau, but you're being plucked up now, all right? You know what I'm saying? You're coming into your undoing, all right? You see, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, all right? And we're coming into that time to kill, all right? It's gonna be a lawless society pretty soon. You know what I'm saying? We see what Nero Trump is doing on his level. You know what I'm saying? Getting all these other nations and countries pissed off. All right, he's stirring the division amongst the American people. All right, he's getting you people, all right, primarily you Edomites, all right, revved up to go try to fight the Israelites. All right, he got ICE, all right, talking about they going door to door now. You know, it's all type of shit that's being stirred up. So we're coming into that time to kill. All right, then it says in a time to heal. All right, the only ones that could be healed on this side is the elect. All right, 2/3 of our people, the Lord don't want to heal them. All right, that's why this gospel can't be perceived by them. They can't accept this gospel because then the Lord would have to heal them. But the Lord don't want to do that. All right, a time to break down. What is the Lord breaking down? This whole setup, Esau's whole world and vibration, Esau's eon, Esau's reign and rule and grip on this earth is being broken down. All right, and it says in a time to build up. What's being built up? The house of David. All right. The next ruling class nation that's gonna head this the next ruling class nation that's gonna head the world ultimately, all right, under Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right, you're gonna have Yahweh, you're gonna send Yahweh Shai back. All right, you're gonna have the 12, you know what I'm saying? Then you got the 144, all right, the government, all right, which is gonna be the rulers of this earth, all right. Then you got the 1/3 remnant, all right, who believed on the elect and they were saved and delivered. All right, and then the 2/3 that's over here in America, as well as those around the world, but the 2/3 represent here in America. But the rest of you undesirable Israelites around the world that get put to death, all right, you're gonna come back. You know what I'm saying? Through the house of David. Verse 4, it says a time to weep and a time to laugh. All right, it's a mourning out here now. It says, right as it goes on to say, a time of mourning and a time to dance. All right, but who's laughing and who's dancing? All right, only the elect are laughing and dancing right now. All right, only the elect are in a joyful state right now, seeing the demise of this world. All right, 2/3 of our people, they're gonna be weeping with these heathens as the pressure gets turned up. You know what I'm saying? They gonna lament for the teats, for the pleasant field, for the fruitful vine. You know what I'm saying? They gonna want all of that shit, but they gonna be left out here to be naked with these heathens. All right. Let me see, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. All right, and again, those stones being gathered together are the elect. All right, and who are they being gathered by? the chief cornerstone, which is Yahweh Shai. All right, that's who, you know what I'm saying, the Lord is coming for. It says a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. All right, because it's deadly out here now. All right, you know, it's pretty much to the point now where if if it's an individual that you around that you gotta deal with on a day in and day out basis, if they not a part of this truth, then you gotta look at them sideways a little bit. All right, you gotta always, you know what I'm saying, keep them at arm's distance and always you know what I'm saying, be conscientious of what they moving, because if they ain't got Yahweh Shem Yahushua as their foundation, then they ain't got shit ultimately. All right, and they gonna be shaky in the motherfucker out here, and when time comes, they gonna turn on you. All right, they gonna do what niggas do. They gonna stick the knife in your back. All right, let me see. That's why it's a time to refrain from embracing. All right, only people that need to be embraced right now, all right, is the body. All right, the house of David. You know what I'm saying? Verse 6, a time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away. All right, let your yea be yea and your nay be nay. All right, you gotta understand right now, we in the times where you gotta be solid. All right, you can't be on the fence. All right, you gotta be solid in this thing. All right, and what comes with that is, I'm saying, doing away with those who ain't solid. All right, let me see. A time to rend and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak. All right, and the time to keep silence is coming. All right, you see the draconian measures that's being signed into effect by Trump. All right, he's already threatened to use the Insurrection Act, which is basically martial law. All right, and we understand and know when that comes, all right, that's basically the Lord giving the prophets the message of that the elected been sealed, in so many words. All right, that's when Amos chapter 8 and 11 comes to fruition. All right, when you people shall seek the word of the Lord in the streets, but you shall not find it. All right, when the Lord send that famine of hearing his words, all right, that's when it's time to be silent. All right, the time to speak is now. All right, and then, you know, some of us brothers, you know, of the elect, hopefully I am of the elect, but some of the elect brothers are gonna get you know what I'm saying, snatched up by these devils and be brought forth before you know what I'm saying, the elites. All right, to give a testimony about Yahweh Shem Yahushua. That's why the Lord said, give no thought to what you gonna say in that day. The Lord gonna give you what you gonna say at that time. All right, so, you know, we right here at the end of this thing. Verse 8, it says a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. All right, you know, the time of love is to come. All right, right now, the only love that can be shown, really, as far as we're concerned, is to the house of David. Again, those are the ones we love. Do we love our family? Well, let me say this, because the house of David is our family. Our relatives, all right, yeah, we got love for them, but at the same time, we don't love them more than we love this truth. All right, we don't love them more than we love Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right, so it is what it is. It said in a time to hate. All right, we're definitely in a time to hate. All right, and the word hate just means strong dislike. You know what I'm saying? A time of war and a time of peace. All right, we're definitely at that time of war. All right, World War III drums are beating. All right, but even before that, over here in America, you're going to have class wars, race wars, sedition of men. All these things are going to take place before the nukes even drop. All right, then it says in a time of peace, peace can't come until the wicked is moved. All right, and the righteous is established. All right, that's when peace is going to come. All right, you know, when you see the kingdom of heaven coming down from heaven, all right, meaning the elect coming down out of the chariots back to this earth after they've been beamed up, that's when you know it's going to be a time of peace. Because before that happens, the Lord, when Yahweh Shah comes back, he's knocking out all your militaries. All right, all your weapons of war, they're going to be destroyed. All right, you people going to get farming instruments to replace your weapons of war. All right, because that's what you people about to be. You about to be sharecroppers and farmers and rock breakers. All right, making big rocks, little rocks. All right, you're gonna dig graves for these dead bodies, because the Lord coming to slay from one end of the earth to the other. Man, it's plenty of work for you devils to do in the kingdom. And when I say devils, I mean all you devils. That go for Esau and the rest of you nations, you deceivers. All right, Esau is the devil, but you other nations, all right, you're wicked too. All right, and y'all all going into slavery together. All right, it's gonna be forever employance for you devils in the kingdom. All right, you're never gonna have you're never gonna be unemployed. You know what I'm saying? Your only off day is going to be on a high holy day or the Shabbat. Outside of that, you know what I'm saying, you could look forward to getting your ass up bright and early and going your ass to sleep, all right, when it's real late, all right? We going to work you devils. We're going to work you devils like you've never been worked before, all right? And the Lord told us to, you know what I'm saying? So just seeing the times that we in right now and how shit is moving, all right, we know we right here at the door. You know what I'm saying? The Charagmas are right around the corner, Jacob's Trouble right around the corner, and World War III is around the corner, and that means Yahweh Shai is coming around that corner. All right, so that's pretty much it. You know, just something quick and to the point. All right, spotlighting these devils, the shit that's going down in the earth, the discontent that's going on in the earth, and the enmity between Jacob and Esau. All right, it's getting revved back up to its all-time peak. All right, and Jake and the devil are going to dance again. So that's it for the lesson. Lord willing, it was edifying, flow together and made sense. All honor, glory, and praise go to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh. Double honors to the apostles, the elder bishops, and the elders of the great millstone. Peace and salutations to the Lord's elect, the house of David, Kwame Yasharala, and the Bible Ball. Shalom.